spring breakin', do 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 do. Da, 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 da. This show certainly was breaking all my spirits like spring breaking, 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 breaking. Oh, breaking, 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 breaking all the logic rules. I'm John Rant with my review of WWE NXT Spring Breakin'. Okay, that intro probably told you how I felt about this show. I'm going to surprise you. I'm probably going to be a little bit harsher. Now, this show was goddamn snakebit. This show was snakebit from the very fucking beginning. And unfortunately, even with some of the good stuff that happened on this show, it was nullified by really, really, really just stupid finishes and what... Remember when NXT was actually a pretty good wrestling brand with some entertainment? Yeah, those were the days. So anyway, there's a giant barbecue pool party thing that's taking place near a giant fountain, and the various NXT talents that were not part of the show, they're like, go out and party and have fun, and women, you look good, guys, you just throw each other into shit, and Alba and Isla, you do witchcraft stuff, and then Dabakato will throw Javier Bernal into the goddamn fountain. Why? Why the hell not? The theme song is shit. If you're going to put rap into wrestling, put good rap into wrestling. Whatever WWE tries to license, it's not any good. Elektra Lopez looked great. So, anyway, Tony D and Stax against Pretty Deadly in a trunk match. Because there have been these attacks and all this stuff, and because one person got locked in the trunk, all this bad stuff, all this bad blood, all this shit, all this stuff that's been building for very little time, being blown off in a trunk match. Basically, you beat the shit out of your opponents and shove them into the back of a 1940s truck. They look pretty cool. Pretty impressive looking. The truck was the best goddamn thing of this match. This is one of the worst matches of the goddamn year. And Tony D and Stax, they play up their gimmick. I'll give them credit. And Pretty Deadly, they have to be my least favorite tag team outside of the Young Bucks. They are fucking off. I don't care how good they are in the ring. I hate their gimmick. I hate their presentation. I hate every goddamn thing about their on-screen character. Not the people, just the on-screen character. I can't stand them. I don't want to fucking see them anymore. And this match was catastrophic. It was terrible. This is the worst way you could start your goddamn show. Yes, it's supposed to be a big themed show, but why was there a kiddie pool with balls in it? You know, little bouncy balls. Why was there a wheelbarrow with chains, chairs, and all this stuff, and everything getting involved in all these weapons where it's just the same goddamn bullshit that you see on so many wrestling programs with weapons for the sake of weapons. Nothing builds. There's nothing good. There was nothing good to this program, this particular feud. Nothing good about this. They just took a bump in the goddamn, kiddie ball pool. This would not end. Tony D and Stax won. Fuck every single goddamn person that put this together. This was terrible. This was a goddamn catastrophic embarrassment. Goddamn, this set tag team wrestling back 10 years. At least in WWE. And unfortunately, this wasn't the end of it. They would do this stuff throughout the show. Tiffany arrives and she talked about topping Indy and Roxanne, I believe. Dookie Nukie Hudson encourages Andre Chase, who then loses to Steiner. I don't like the Andre or the Chase University stuff. I don't like it. Some people do, that's fine. Steiner beat him, there you go. I mean, he's supposed to be this vicious heel, which I don't necessarily think is working in his favor, but nevertheless, he wins with the Steiner recliner. Okay, he's using Uncle Scott's finisher, that's fine. And this isn't the last we see of Steiner either. Carmelo Hayes, he has a package, which didn't sound nearly as dirty as it did until I said it there, but they hype him up, and then Mackenzie, who looked great, she's going to interview Dragunov, who gets attacked by Dijak. There is a trailer that has a workshop in the back of it for some reason. And Dijak throws him into ladders about 50 million times and then slams the door on him, and they can't get the door up. They can't get the door off of Dragunov, and he's being crushed by this door that you could easily lift up just a little bit. Those doors are pretty... whatever. Anytime they try to do something decent, they just make it stupid. Just make it really stupid. And... What is this? What is this from Lyra Valkyria? What is this? What is this? What is this? Mr. Roboto, domo domo, domo domo. She has a good look. I don't know why the smoke machine won't be turned up. And then again, Frank is in charge of it. And if you know anything, and have been following my channel for a bit, Frank has one job and he never turns off the smoke machine. But nobody else will replace Frank because they don't want to get rid of Frank. Frank has too much time invested in this. And damn it, Frank only has one job and he can't figure it out. Nevertheless, Lyra Valkyria, Rise of Lyra, whatever. I may just drop these nicknames because at this point I just don't give a shit. The show isn't worth trying to make jokes about. Cora Jade has her stick out. That, again, sounded a lot less dirty in my head. And it's Lyra Valkyria against Cora Jade. Lyra's offense is unique. She actually can work, and Cora isn't that bad for her age and her experience level. We go 1 minute, we go to the break. There was a bad bump during the break where Lyra landed around her goddamn head. This show really was snake bit. A bad apron bump by Cora, and perfect plex for 2. We get a springboard attempt, springboard into the ropes didn't quite work. Again, snake bit show. And the referee stops using the stick, and then Cora's like, no, my bad, and then manages to chop Lyra in the knee and get the DDT finish 1, 2, 3. Okay. Guess they're building up to Lyra apparently getting the victory over Cora at some point, or they're building up Cora to possibly take the title from Indy. I'm not totally sure. I don't know who that is with Grayson Waller, but my goodness, she looks great. Tony D and Stacks are driving around in the rain, and there you go. Carmelo Hayes with Trick Williams taking on Grayson Waller with, Jesus Christ, that girl was beautiful. Who was that woman? She was beautiful. Anyway, NXT Championship match. The highlight of the goddamn show, in all honesty. I wanted to say the highlight was the main event, and maybe it was, but not for the right reasons. It's almost angering how insufferably good both of these guys are in the ring. I have come around a bit on Waller, especially after he beat the shit out of Gargano and beat the shit out of him in front of Candice, who couldn't have acted any worse if you, held a goddamn, 10 grand in front of her and said, act like somebody that is actually a human, you bitch. Anyway, enough of that. Made the kid cry. That was good. Let's get back to Grayson and Hayes. This was well worked. Hayes was selling his knee after it being attacked and how he'd land on some moves. There was one point where Grayson Waller threw a chair into the ring. Hayes caught it perfectly, and then Grayson hit Trick with a chair one time. That was good, and he wouldn't get disqualified, but he took Trick out for a bit. That was good. And Grayson kept trying to go for it. He kept trying to go for it. Mello kept favoring his knee. There was I don't even know how to describe this. It looked like Mello was going to try to maybe hit something, like his springboard leg drop. He springs off, and he hits a DDT. It was beautifully done. It looked great, and he got a 2 count. And then Waller got a snap powerbomb, got that for 2. And he hits that rolling stunner. Actually just hits a stunner because Hayes kind of jumps off the ropes. But Hayes rolls outside, and then we get an elbow drop through the announcer's table to a big pop. And Waller tried to do a roll. It was awkward. I think it was intentionally done because he rolled and kind of caught his foot up on the rope, and so he flummoxed. And then we got a leg drop from Carmelo Hayes a little bit later, 1, 2, 3. Okay, Waller's probably going to get called up soon. I would be very surprised if he wasn't called up during the draft. In all honesty, they need some fresh blood. I don't know if Waller's ready to be up on the main roster. I just don't know what else you do with him after what they've been doing with him the last few months. I hope Waller is all right, and I hope it was just a fake out and a flummox. Mello calls out Steiner for Battleground. Even if you don't want it, I want to get out here. And then Steiner proceeds to spear Trick out of his goddamn boots, sneaking up from behind. Lays out Mello with the press into the power slam, and then gets a Steiner recliner on Trick. And then hits A spear on Mello outside through some particle board. A conveniently set up, it was almost like a theater standee the way they did that. Stop having Roxanne talk like she is reading. Oh, I love Lita and Trish and the Bellas. They influenced me so well. Stop, please. Don't. No, I have a family. Please don't hold this against me. What are you? Stop having her talk unless she's going to talk like an actual human. It's like she studies hostage statement tapes and says, I'll talk like that. And she seems to be intelligent and nice and what? I don't know if she's well-spoken because she sounds like an AI program. She can... Just stop having her talk. Just stop it. Speaking of stopping having people talk, stop with this schism dyad shit. It was just Joe Wayne Gacy and Ava Braun. Joe Coffey's also there, and it's Joe on Joe action. Hello, Joe. And basically, if Joe Wayne Gacy wins a match next week against Joe Coffey, then I guess Fowler and Jägermeister Reed, I guess apparently who are not being granted their releases, so they're just serving their penance for the next almost 6 months. Just grant people their releases. You save money. Anyway, but if Joe Coffey wins, then the Dyad won't get a goddamn shot as long as Gallus are champions. Okay. Then we get Fallon Henley and Briggs against Kiana and Jensen. Okay, look. Fallon and Kiana look great and have done the best they can given their experience level, especially in Kiana's case. And Briggs and Jensen are a fine team. This whole high school drama relationship bullshit has been it's been shit. It has been ridiculous. It has been bad for television. It's been bad for wrestling. It's been a bad storyline. And this is one of the worst. This took forever. To have. They would have been better off cutting this in half and giving some time to another goddamn match. Having the women just do something. It would have been better actually having Kiana and Fallon in a match. And at least you could have kept it short. And just... Booker's commentary makes me just want to seriously drive a goddamn nail. Remember the weapon from No Country for Old Men? Yeah, I feel like driving that through my goddamn skull because Booker T is fucking rotten. Vic Joseph would be better off hauling the goddamn show on his own. Booker T is rotten on commentary. He is embarrassing to listen to. He is so catastrophically damaging to NXT. Oh, geez, he sounds like he's God damn it. Sounds like a freaking vacuum that needs to be like refurbished. Anyway, they did a stupid thing where Jensen was supposed to, I think, hit Kiana, but then Kiana bumps off the ropes because this show again was snake bit. Kiana yells at Jensen. Jensen gets hit with a lariat by Briggs. And then Jensen's like, wait, Kiana, I'm sorry, it's our first time teaming up. Then she tries to slap him. They realize the story was shit, and they're like, let's just blow it off here. You should have never done it in the first place. But I thought you loved me, I never loved you. Oh, no. That's what I feel like. Shawn Michaels ain't ever going to see fucking heaven for all his bad creative, and neither is Road Dogg. Well, Road Dogg's not going to see heaven anyway, because nobody that feels the way he does will ever see heaven. And plus, religion's all bullshit. But this was terrible. This was terrible, and I don't care. Despite the fact that I ranted about it, I just don't... I'm writing off every single person involved in this. And I like Fallon, but that's it. Kiana, you've torched anybody. You've torched any good that could come of this. And also, Brooks Jensen. His dad looked like a badass dad, Bull Buchanan, by the way. That's Bull Buchanan's son. That's how old we all are, folks. If you're like me and I know I am. This was embarrassing bullshit, and this was bad for wrestling. This was not good storytelling. I'm sorry. If you thought it was, that's fine. Mackenzie says, Dragon Lee, you've been off to a great start. Has he, though? His first match, he was on the losing end because he didn't win. It was a fatal 5-way for the North American Championship. I think he's wrestled one match on NXT television since. And he wants Noam Dar, apparently. Why is Scripps acting like a Batman villain or acting like he's on the set of that animated show Gargoyles, which actually, now that I think about it, an animated show wouldn't really have a set. I mean, I guess it would to draw it. Nevertheless, he's going to expose Axiom Verge. Indy talking about all her hard work. So NXT Anonymous captures Sol Ruka's the aftermath of an attack on Sol Ruka. Okay, is this because Sol Ruka's injured, or are we just doing this because we're bored? I'm hoping it's the latter. Obafemi, you couldn't have come up with a better name. You were setting this guy up to be mocked. Not that I would mock him, but there are a lot of idiots out there. Obafemi, who's a big lad. He beat up Oro in the Blind Forest. Oro Menzies, I don't actually remember what the fuck the guy's name is. He was the guy they brought in for a little bit. He was in that multi-man ladder match around Halloween Havoc, and ever since then, they have not used him at all. And yeah, this Oba guy beat the shit out of him. I think Oro got like one near fall and hit a big bomb, 1, 2, 3. He looks impressive. I'm going to have to not laugh at the name, but there we go. Gigi then takes over commentary and says, I'm going to make your life a living hell, JC Jane, and my brother is going to be here next week. Oh boy. So, Charlie Dempsey and Gulak, they want Wesley. And the worst way, the best way, I don't care. Tiffany then makes her entrance with 35 minutes left in the program. 35 minutes left in the program. Then Tyler Bates says, hey, Wes, I want to face you at some point, but how about this? How about I am in your corner next week? Okay. Roxanne, 6 minutes later, makes her entrance. Indy makes it right after, and the bell rings. We've got 20 minutes left of this. Now, Tiffany is raw, but has the ability to get better. She can hit a hell of a triple jump moonsault, and she admits that she wants to get better and wants to stay in NXT a little bit longer and get better, hone her skills. That's fine. That's good. More people should say that. That's fine. She has the ability to get better. And Roxanne is wise beyond her years. And Indy, God bless Indy. I don't know what the hell happened here, but it's like they were all moving in quicksand. If the timing was any more off with them, they would have been better off just stopping tape and starting the match over. They would have been better off having 3 women run out there, attack, lay all 3 of them out, and then we could have gotten an unlikely 6-woman tag, and then maybe we could have revisited this match a few months later or a few weeks later. It couldn't have gone any worse than this. There was an arm drag spot that, honest to God, made me think, Jesus Christ, are they okay? Are they drunk? Did their spirits suddenly leave their bodies? Did they suddenly decide to partake in spirits? Did Shawn Michaels' lazy eye take over booking this goddamn thing? I don't know what the deal was. Indy, a little bit later, like, her ankle just bends in a way that nature did not intend because Tiffany hit a, senton outside. Impressive. I hope that Indy's all right because she was taken back for a bit and this got awkward. I mean, Tiffany and Roxanne were going at it. They were probably worried about Indy, and I understand that, but the match before that, leading up to that, wasn't any good, and then it just got worse. And then Indy came back, and then we got some near falls and some sloppiness, and Indy pulls Tiffany out before she can get a 3 count in the moonsault and hits the forearm from behind. 1, 2, 3. I hope Indy's okay. I hope with a little bit of rest. Maybe it was just a sprained ankle. Maybe she's going to be all right. I hope so. Hope she doesn't have to relinquish it because she's finally been able to achieve her dream. This match was a nightmare, though. This was a nightmare. Speaking of a nightmare, Pretty Deadly Glory were thrown in the river by Tony D and Stax. I can only hope that means that if they are brought up to the main roster, it is with a gimmick that isn't shit. Watch Pretty Deadly Glory go with Seth Pheasant Rollins, which will just make me not want to watch Seth Pheasant Rollins anymore. This is all I have to say about this show. This was terrible. God, NXT. God damn it. Anyway, spring break-in. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm Jonathan. I'll see you soon.